Greetings, my name is Nathan Vandenberg. The meme I have chosen to present to you is the most interesting man in the world. So who is the most interesting man in the world? For those of you who are unfamiliar with him, here's a commercial for the Dos Equis Beer Company where he makes his appearances.
His fortune cookies simply read, "Congratulations." Skinny dipping was his idea. He can slam a revolving door. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
The advertising campaign of the most interesting man in the world was created by the global marketing firm EuroRSCG Worldwide. The ads star American actor Jonathan Goldsmith as the most interesting man, with narration by Will Lyman, who is best known for his narrating role in the public affairs TV program Frontline. Goldsmith's character is known for his catchphrases, "I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis," and "Stay thirsty, my friends." The ads first aired in the United States in 2006. 4 of the ads were uploaded to YouTube by user Whistle1976 on April 10, 2007. They now have a combined number of views of well over 5 million. That same month, the promotional website StayThirstyMyFriends.com was launched. It provided an opportunity where fans could upload videos of themselves performing toasts with bottles of Dos Equis. On November 18, 2007, the advertising news blog Advertising305 posted about the ads, labeling the campaign a stroke of genius. On December 9th, Time magazine included Dos Equis in their list of top TV ads of 2007. On April 24, 2008, a thread was posted in regards to the ad campaign on the Texas Longhorns Horns Fan Forum. Forum member Wolfman compared Goldsmith's character to the martial artist Chuck Norris due to the similarity of their respective satirical factoids. In 2009, the ad campaign was mentioned by multiple media outlets, including Slate, who published an article claiming the ads took aesthetic cues from the work of film director Wes Anderson. Food blog Eat Me Daily, who posted about the campaign, remarked that the character had its own Twitter impersonator. That account has since been deleted. In a People magazine interview, Jonathan Goldsmith revealed that he does in fact live on a 47-foot boat in California. And an archived 4chan post with racist versions of the Goldsmith character dates back to August 3, 2009. Before moving on, I'd like to warn you that this next slide will contain some not safe for work language and one image. If you are offended by it, or may face disciplinary action because of it, I recommend that you skip over it. The Internet Wayback Machine's first snapshot of the meme generator page for Most Interesting Man in the World was taken on November 22, 2009. The page allowed users the ability to create image macros using a photo of Goldsmith as the Dos Equis man. In January of 2010, a quick meme page for the Most Interesting Man in the World was created, in which the first image macro was captioned with the phrase, "I don't masturbate often, but when I do, I use women." We've now arrived to a point in the history of the Most Interesting Man in the World where I believe for the most part we are on the same page. Most, if not all, should be familiar with the format of the typical Most Interesting Man image macro. Anyone who has seen an image macro of the Most Interesting Man in the World can probably tell you the format which it typically follows. This is considered its conservative element. It will have the phrase, "I don't always," fill in the blank, followed by, "but when I do, I," fill in the blank. Let's move on and look at a few examples of popular image macros that follow the theme of the Most Interesting Man in the World. You'll notice that the dynamic elements change constantly, as the subject matter isn't necessarily limited to any specific topic. Over time, some changes in the conservative and dynamic elements of this meme have occurred. In February of 2011, the Coca-Cola Company began running ads to promote their new brand Vitamin Water, which starred NBA player Steve Nash. In them, Nash replaces Jonathan Goldsmith and is known instead as the most ridiculous man in the world. Though they are faithful to certain conservative elements such as the satirical factoids, the Latin accent, and the taglines, there are other comical liberties taken that give homage to the Dos Equis commercials and provide dynamic changes that allow them to stand alone as well. An example of one of these advertisements can be seen here.
Is 100% Canadian, as are his tuxedos. He can speak 22 languages at the first grade level. He doesn't do mouth to mouth because he's all tongue. He can only give 100%. The other 10% he donates to orphans. Steve Nash is the most ridiculous man in the world.
I don't always drink water, but when I do, I drink vitamin water, XXX. Stay vitaminized, my friends.
As you can see, there have also been conservative and dynamic changes made in the image macros of the most interesting man in the world. We'll start with mashups of several memes. First, we have a mashup of the traditional image macro and that of longtime diabetes awareness advocate Wilford Brimley. Our second one is with Painty the Pirate from the SpongeBob SquarePants cartoon series. Our next mashup is that with another very popular meme, the Gershberms Girl. This last one on the top row is an interesting mashup because it's a great blend of conservative and dynamic elements of both the most interesting man in the world meme with the Joseph Ducrot meme. As you can see, it's difficult to determine where the conservative and dynamic elements begin and end with each of them. First one on the bottom row, here we've got the conservative elements of the meme blended with a picture of a cat, which is what 99% of the internet consists of. This middle one is an example of sexualizing a meme. The viewer is still able to recognize the source material for this image macro, even though the only conservative element that remains is the phrase, "I don't always," fill in the blank, "but when I do," fill in the blank. Our last one is another where there is only one utilized conservative element. This one is a kind of mashup due to the amount of memes regarding large and unusual eyebrows. I'm going to wrap up this presentation by discussing the popularity of the most interesting man in the world. As of April 10th, 2012, a quick meme page has over 96,000 submissions of the image macro. As of November 3rd, 2015, the Dos Equis Facebook page has received over 3.7 million likes. And according to the graph on Google Trends, the largest popularity spikes for the search term "the most interesting man in the world" were between 2009 and 2013, though they are currently experiencing an incline. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my presentation. In closing, I'd just like to say, I don't always give PowerPoint presentations, but when I do, they're about the most interesting man in the world. Stay curious, my friends.